Hey, Dan Cochimillo here with NorCal Sports Network with a video on Corbin Burnes and will he be a San Francisco Giant? Before we get into this video, let us thank our sponsor, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, check them out in the description of this video. Hey, everybody, if you would give this a like and subscribe, really would appreciate it. It does help the algorithms. And if you watch this all the way till the end, it really does help. Hope you'll enjoy this. Thank you. All right, guys. Corbin Burnes, should the San Francisco Giants sign him, and will they sign him? Right now, it appears that they are the favorites, but they're in a battle with the Toronto Blue Jays, and we're hearing there's up to 5 teams involved in the Corbin Burnes sweepstakes. Corbin Burnes grew up in Bakersfield, California, went to college, pitched well at St. Mary's, then went on to play for several years with the Milwaukee Brewers. Started out as a reliever in the bullpen and then became a full-time starter. I believe it was in his 4th season. Let me look. He started, yes, it was his 4th season. He came up in 2018 as a 23-year-old, and he did get some starts in, well, his 3rd year, I guess he became a full-time starter. It was only 9 starts, but that was the shortened season, the 60-game season, the COVID season. So it was 2021 where he had 28 starts, and then the last 3 years he's averaged just over 32 starts. So he's been a workhorse, and he would fit great with Logan Webb, and they would team up as 2 workhorses that are able to throw a lot of innings. So Corbin Burnes, he would be an excellent get for the Giants. They really have kind of pigeonholed themselves, in my opinion, into having to go get a Corbin Burnes because you let Blake Snell walk. And not only did you let Blake Snell walk, but now you're going to face him in the division every year for the next 5 years. And Blake Snell is a dominant pitcher, as we have seen and saw last year with the Giants in the second half. So I think this move, going after Corbin Burnes, is going to be a critical move if the Giants want to compete. And even if they get Corbin Burnes, I'm not so sure they're really a playoff team yet, because you lost Snell. Now you added Willy Adames, which in NorCal Sports Network, if you've been watching us, we were talking about Willy Adames before the 2024 season ended and said that's the guy the Giants need to go get. They need to go out and get Willy Adames. They needed a shortstop. They've done that. Check there. All right. But you now have to go add in starting pitching. Starting pitching is so important, especially for the Giants in that ballpark. They've got to find elite pitching. And Corbin Burnes would be the right step, would be an excellent move there. Now, the market's shifted after Juan Soto signed, and then Max Fried signed an 8-year deal with the New York Yankees. That has pushed the price up for Corbin Burnes, and I think it's going to be anywhere to 250 to 275 is where he ends up signing, which is imminent. It could happen at any moment. So here we are on a Friday, December 13th, Friday the 13th. Does Corbin Burnes sign today? Does he sign this weekend coming up? We'll see what happens. But if the Giants do not land Corbin Burnes and he ends up signing elsewhere, that would be a major blow to them getting back in the hunt. They would have to go out. Nathan Eovaldi's off the board now. They would have to go after maybe a Jack Flaherty or a Walker Buehler, maybe try to add both of those guys. Now, the thing with Burnes is this going to be a 7-year deal, 8-year deal? I think it's a minimum of 7 now that Fried got 8. And, Burnes would be an excellent fit, but I don't know if it's enough. The Giants still need more pieces. Would love to go out and see them make a trade for Kyle Tucker. Do they have the assets to go get a Kyle Tucker? That's where they should be putting a lot of emphasis as well. But I believe Buster Posey's got his eyes on Corbin Burnes. And if we take a look at Corbin Burnes' numbers, there is something I want you to be aware of when you look at Corbin Burnes' numbers. And this is a little bit of a concern to me. He is 29 years old. He will be, well, he's actually 30 now. Excuse me. He was 29 last year. He just turned 30 in October. So he will enter age 30, and it will be his 6th year as a full-time starter. Now, 2020 was really a shortened season, so this is really coming up on his 5th full season. Now, there's one area I want to look at here, and that is strikeouts per 9 innings. If you notice, his first year in the bigs as a starter, 2020, he had a 13, sorry for blowing that up and back, 13.3 strikeouts per 9 innings. And then in 21, it went down to 12.6, still excellent, but then it dropped to 10.8. And then in 23, it dropped down to 9.3. You see right over here. And then last year is 8.4. So the strikeouts are going down. He's not missing as many bats. The whip has gone up a little bit. So walks and hits to innings pitched has gone up from a low of 0.94 in 21, and then 0.96, then 1.069, then last year 1.096. So those are all indicators to me that is he losing anything off of his stuff, the velocity, what's happening there? He had an excellent ERA plus in 21 when he won the Cy Young Award, and he finished 15th in the MVP, but that was 2021, had an ERA plus of 170, then it's dropped to 137, 127, 128. Still an elite pitcher and still something the Giants need to pursue. And he also eats innings up like a Logan Webb, which is rare. See a couple guys in the same team go 200 plus innings. In 2022, he did pitch 202 innings. And if you compare him with a Logan Webb, let's take a look at Logan Webb here and Corbin Burnes head to head. If we look at the numbers here, overall stats, pretty similar. WAR. Now, Logan Webb has more starts. He has just 5 more starts, so pretty similar. Burnes has more games because, again, he came up as a reliever. But 60 wins and 36 losses to Webb's 55 and 42. A couple of saves for Burnes. ERA, a little lower for Burnes. ERA plus is better. Strikeouts, much better than Webb. He's got a higher K percentage by about 6.5%. Based on balls, Webb has him there. The based on balls percentage 5.8 to 7% for Burnes. So you would have 2 top of the end rotation guys, really 2 number 1 type pitchers, which would really be great in a short series, in a playoff series, especially if you're a wild card team, because I don't think the Giants are going to be able to overtake the Dodgers anytime soon for the division. But if you're a wild card team, it's a 3-game series. You just got to win 2. Imagine going out there with Burnes and Webb, or Webb and Burnes. That's a pretty potent combination. So that would be a huge get for the San Francisco Giants. Now, the pitcher that I personally would have went after if I was Buster Posey in the San Francisco Giants, I would have went after Max Fried to replace Blake Snell and face the Dodgers lefties and Freddie Freeman and Shohei Ohtani and Max Muncy, one of your teams that you're going to be facing a lot more, the LA Dodgers. If you look at Max Fried's numbers, one of the things that I look at is innings pitched, complete games. Max Fried has 6 complete games in his career. He pitched 2 last year, 1 the year before. Corbin Burnes has never pitched a complete game, which is interesting to me. And if you look at innings pitched, Burnes actually goes a little deeper into the games, though. So he's pitched more innings, even though Max Fried has some complete games. And, statistically, they're pretty close, Max Fried and Corbin Burnes. Let's take a look at them head to head. Max Fried and Corbin Burnes. There you go. On the left, now Fried's been pitching a little longer. He's got 13 more games started, but 168 games to 199. Again, Burnes was in the bullpen, but the WAR, look at the WAR. Max Fried, 24.1. He's got him beat in wins by 13, even though, and he's got 13 more starts. So innings pitched, though, Burnes has him by about 19 innings. ERA, Max Fried a little lower. ERA plus. Fried has a better there. Strikeouts, of course, Burnes is more the strikeout pitcher. And base on ball percentage, they're pretty equal. But I think Max Fried would have been a good find for the Giants because he's a lefty and he did not going to cost nearly as much. I think Corbin Burnes, Max Fried, 8 years, 16 million, 218 million, something like that. AAV, though, under 30, about 26. I think Corbin Burnes is going to be, again, 30 to 40, maybe $50 million more when it comes down to it, because more and more teams are in the hunt for a Corbin Burnes. So I would have went after Fried, but Burnes is no slouch. Either way, you get either one of those guys and you're a winner in the offseason. So we'll see what happens. Corbin Burnes, a Giant. I think it's at this point, with the pitchers that are off the board, and I think it's a must in the situation for the Giants. Now, if he goes 7 or 8 years, I'm not so sure about those last 3 years or so. I'm thinking 5 good years for Burnes. Let's hope he's got more. But it's tough once you pass age 35 for pitching to be still at that top end elite level. But you got to go with it. That's the going rate. The market's been set. Max Fried, 8 years. So Corbin Burnes is getting 7 minimum. Blake Snell, the first to sign, he got 5 years, 182 with the Dodgers. So we'll see what happens, Corbin Burnes. But if for some reason the Giants do not land Corbin Burnes, which I do think they will, I feel like they will get him. But if they do not, the Giants need to pivot quickly. And I would go after some of the remaining starters like a Flaherty and Walker Buehler. Maybe you can get both those guys for what it would be, what you would have paid for Burnes. Because I think Flaherty's going to be in that range of maybe 4 years, $25 million a year, around $100 million. I think Buehler, you can maybe get Buehler on a 1-year prove-it deal. Maybe it's a 2-year deal with a player option for Walker Buehler. That way he has the opportunity to walk if he has a really good year. He can opt out. So we'll see where this lands, guys. Tell us what you think. Do the Giants land Corbin Burnes? Should they get Corbin Burnes? Is that a concern to you, his K rate dropping and the fact that he's never thrown a complete game? Does that bother you at all? Or do you think he's going to be great and the Giants just need to get him? If you don't think the Giants are going to get him, what team do you think does get Corbin Burnes? Let us know in the comments below here and tell us what you think. Catch us on the next video. Again, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Really do appreciate it. Hope you have a great day.